Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Pantalogical of Magic. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about the signs, spiritual signs. What are the signs from spirit? How do we interpret them? How do we use them in our craft? Interestingly though, I've already spoken about this before, and I spoke about it in my little lexicon of scrying. Now, scrying, for anyone that doesn't know, is where somebody like myself, who is an oracle or a psychic, will use a natural element to produce a medium to be able to talk to entities. And this has gone back all the way to the ancient Greek priestesses. This is a craft that has been performed for thousands of years in order to prophesize the future, speak to entities, etc. And for myself, I use fire. So here are some beautiful images. Ra, Anubis, I think I've done, Odin. I'll put a couple of random ones here for you to see. But I thought that in this video, I would actually recite what I wrote in here. This explains so well what signs are. Once I had scryed for a long time, I kind of was able to conceptualize it in my brain and then write down what was happening in my mind for me to get it to work. You guys can sit back and relax and just listen to the book. Let's see if I can get this all done in one take. Okay. Scrying is an ability in which the practitioner receives a message from the divine world using a medium. This medium can be the cloud above your heads, the flame of a fire, just like what I use, tea leaves, black mirrors, but it can be more than this as well. See, the scrying mind is heavily associated with the higher self. Scrying has been used as a tool for developing psychic gifts, but it can also do a lot more than this. Which leads me to the first point, that scrying is kind of like music. Some people have it as a natural talent. Some people, they've got to build it. Scrying is the exact same. So how does it work? Your brain is very complex and very complicated. In the last episode, we talked about the thalamus. So there is a part of your brain, it's called the thalamus. And the thalamus is responsible for sensory messages. It receives a message pretty much from thin air. This message is sent to your cerebral cortex, which then files them into the rest of your senses. So your thalamus is listening to me right now before you are interpreting that. It can read before you're understanding what you're actually reading. It receives the light signatures. It receives those bits of data for you to understand. So these messages are called information. We could also call this energy. So this energy flows through the thalamus to help you receive a message. Some people, like myself, we call this thalamus the crown chakra. The crown is usually shown as a blue lotus throughout ancient texts, as it's not really a chakra, but an opening, right? This antenna to the rest of your radio. So energy is everything. A spell is an energetic frequency of healing, protection, money. A god, a goddess is also an energetic frequency, maybe a god or a goddess of fertility, protection, wisdom, whatever it might be. When we participate in spell work or in worship, we're having an energetic exchange. We're giving our energy in order to receive back from that energy. But it goes a lot further. Each crystal, each herb, material also holds an energetic frequency. This is why when we do a healing spell, we put a healing herb with that spell. You are gathering this one energy. When we create a magic salt circle, we're containing the energy. It goes even deeper for not only our objects and spirits' energy, but also our situations. Someone's life holds energy, their relationship holds energy, their career has energy, the arguments that they get into, moving house with your spouse, your ancestors' stories, their lives. We have known this for so long that we developed energy reading tools like tarot, oracle cards, charms. Okay, this is how long we have known about this energy, the energy of our lives. But like I said, we also have this crown chakra, or this opening for all of this energy to come through, giving us visions, feelings, emotions due to the energy that is coming through to us. And if you get really good at understanding that energy that is coming in, the symbols and the signs that are coming in, well, you're called a psychic, aren't you? So, with your new understanding of what energy is, I can state that a scrying medium is not only an energy reading tool, but possibly even something that we can invoke energy through. For example, we have scientific research on something called Totaka flame gazing. This is where we stare into a candle flame, and we've been able to study the mind, and we can see that it decalcifies the pineal gland. It's really interesting. What's interesting is that these monks are asking for healing. They're saying, heal my mind. They've got that on their mind at the same time as doing this experiment. So my belief, and I refuse to believe, that scrying is a one-way street. I do not think that I am the only scryer to discover this as well. For like the Greek oracles of Delphi, when they went to the springs to receive a water scrying vision, I do believe that they would have invoked the energy of the situation. They would have known what was on their mind, what question they had to ask. And I think that may be why scrying is kind of seen as difficult and has become a dying out practice, because people don't and can't receive these in-depth readings like the oracles used to. You may see the image of a butterfly or nothing at all. This is why I wrote the book, because I was able to figure all of that last part out, how to understand the signs and get them to come through fluently. So what does this all have to do with the higher self? Literally everything. The best gift a medium can give to another medium is to tell them that the more that you know yourself, the more that you will know other people. And it doesn't ring true until you are seriously on this path. Scrying is also knowing. It's allowing, it's trusting. Without knowing, you have no idea what the symbols mean. Without allowing, your own skepticism or even your own narrative of the situation can block the truth from coming through. Without trust, your body will never fully commit to the work that's at hand. Without trust, you can't see anything. Your higher self is you. It knows you. It knows you more than you know yourself. When we seek the things that we truly love and that bring us excitement and joy, we figure out who we are. The radio to the antenna. So if your crown chakra is the message board for the things to come through, what really is this radio that's inside of us? Your inner radio will very much depend on many things. Some people have skeptical wires in there. Some have doubt of their own power wires. Some are just fully missing wires, not having the right knowledge, maybe the right lessons. You might have Christian wires that stop you from trusting whatever it is your radio, and you need to look at what is inside of that radio. Another small thing that I will bring up is that your radio has an emergency area. It's kind of sort of, not really, but sort of takes care of the bad wires. This emergency area is called the subconscious mind. Do you now know how often we do stuff without even knowing that we're doing it? Most people chronically disassociate, and their subconscious is there to lend them a hand. It can drive our car for us when we wake up one moment later wondering how on earth we just got home. If we refuse to work on our internal fears and struggles, our subconscious mind will start giving them to us in vivid daydreaming in order to try and make us work through this. Sometimes we don't even realize what has been put into our minds from TV advertisement, what our parents say, religion, society. When you can seriously open your eyes to the reality, to life, to going deeper and to being more aware, you can see that your crown does not miss a single thing. It just picks up on everything. It picks up on every single TV advertisement. If you really pay attention, Every random bug that crawls way too close to you and hangs out with you is a sign. Your higher self, your whole self, the one that is deeply in tune with its own soul, is who can scry. While on this journey, I'm pretty sure I figured out mal-debarkment syndrome. I'm not even kidding. Scientists barely know anything about it. Pretty sure I figured it out. Anyway, so I want to quickly bring this up with you as well. Another part of the body that played a serious part in my awakening, in me being able to do all of this, is the pineal gland, the third eye. It is different to the crown chakra, but they are very much linked together. It can help you see more. It can help you deepen your spirituality. It is the window you look out of when you're looking into the world of energy. Many spiritualists believe that this is the part of the brain that is responsible for your mental freedom. Some go as far as saying, like, the government puts fluoride into our toothpaste so then our pineal gland calcifies itself. These are far-fetched claims, but what I can say is that the pineal gland is like mal-debarkment syndrome. When you know that you've been on a train for a long period of time and then you get off the train and you know how you still feel like you're moving? Or when you've been driving on a high-speed highway for a while and then you finally get into your town and you're like, wow, why am I driving so fast? You end up speeding because you don't feel it anymore. Scientists have discovered that mal-debarkment syndrome is caused by a sudden change, a sensory change in the brain, in the cerebral cortex. But they have zero idea why it actually happens and what causes this. With this in mind, it makes me wonder if the spiritualists were actually correct. See, whenever we do something energetically, like having a job, a relationship, sports, mental health, the better that we get at it, the more that we do it, it just becomes a natural thing for us. It becomes naturally easier. And then when we stop, we get this very strange feeling. And if I'm not wrong, it's quite similar to mal-debarkment syndrome or even jet lag when we go through a breakup, because it's emotional to us, because we've got so many memories, right? We call this in the spiritual community our body memory. The other person's energy or the other thing ends up connected to us. When it leaves our life, it can be really painful depending on those memories, depending on what your body is holding on to. Do you know that we've figured out the pineal gland understands our environment? It knows when it's nighttime and when it's daytime. It gets our environment. So mal-debarkment syndrome, I think, really is that. It's our pineal gland having an after effect, an after reaction, because it's witnessing our environment. We're going at a fast pace. Now that we're not, the thing that noticed it is our pineal gland. And we go through a big breakup because we've had such a long-term relationship, lots and lots of memories with this person. Our pineal gland is remembering everything. Our pineal gland is directly linked to our hippocampus, to our memory bank. Better that you get at listening to your third eye, being able to see beyond science as well, to find an answer, is what helps us interpret the signs around us. Because when I then see that sign, I can have rational thoughts about it. Ooh, that's a little bit attractive, but not get obsessed. Oh, look at that thing over there. Wow, I actually think I would really like to go towards that instead of obsession. Again, we can listen and use the emotions that we're having to work through it. There is a reason I bore you with all of this. Let me jump back to the start, okay? Energy. I say it's everything. It is the gods, it is nature, it is lands, it is elements, it is situations, it is people, it is absolutely everything. John Nielsen did some beautiful work on scrying with black mirrors. But a piece of information that he found that spun me out was from one of the philosophers, Euripides. I don't even know how to say his name. But he says, some scholars would characterize the Neolithic goddess culture of old Europe prior to 4000 BCE, before Christ, as magical, where there was little separation between the psyche, like what they were daydreaming about, and the outside world. Their dominant perception, as said, was that all things were full of gods. And we've talked about this. I did a whole diagram that went into what we know scientifically about the beginning of our planet, and then what was written by all of our ancient civilizations. The Egyptians were so beyond accurate. Like, are you kidding me? They even named it everything perfectly. Chaos gave birth to the first god, Atom, who then gave birth to Shu and Tefnut, who are air and moisture. And we know that there was a Big Bang. The Big Bang created atoms. And some of the first atoms that were kind of created to create our world were helium and hydrogen. The wet and dryness. It's so specific when you look deeply into it. There's two ways that you can learn to read the signs. Number one is you can spend 20 years learning all of the interpretations yourself. This is learning all the interpretations for each hieroglyphic, every fruit on the planet, every tree, every plant. It would take you a long time. That's my goal though. And I've been doing it since I was like 7 years old. I would force my mum into buying me like the entire set A to Z encyclopedia of every single animal, and then I would read every single one and know everything about every single animal. And I've been doing that since I was a child. So I kind of do the first one, but the second one, and something that I've learned how to use, is your own internal Wikipedia. This is where you use your intuition to make an interpretation, right? When you see this pen right here, what does it make you feel? What are you saying about this pen in your brain? It's a pen. It's business related, it's strategic, it's still got lots left in it, right? There's your reading, right? So, how do we know what signs are for us? Number one, what are you going through right now? So what is happening in your life right now? What is it that you're actually trying to bring in? Number two, is there anything around you that is genuinely not leaving you alone? Is there a sign that consistently shows up? Maybe there's multiple signs that show up. Maybe if you were to put those signs together, they would mean something specific. This happened to me as well. Like, some messages can be, yes, about your life purpose, about love, but they can also be messages from spirit. For a while, for about 3 years, I just kept getting trains, trains became very noticeable to me. And also, just ancestors, male ancestors very particularly, trains, male ancestors. And there was a couple of more things that happened. And eventually, after like 3 years of getting signs, I was like, wait, train ancestor male, this, that, the other. And then I was like, wait, a year prior to me getting all of these signs, my train driving grandfather had passed away. It was my ancestor trying to say, by the way, now that I've passed away, I'm here. Like, I'm still with you. Do you know what I mean? But I just didn't pick up on it. It took me so long. When I'm scrying and I'm seeing these images appear to me, they always mean something. They answer a question. The god or the goddess that appears, because I know most of their stories, I instantly know the message for the person. Telling me Persephone and pomegranates keep coming to the person. Oh, they've got mother issues. Oh my God, they've got mother issues out the bum. Okay, so your energy is expelling energy out into the world. It's constantly asking questions. Let me make you a checklist to help you get through the signs. So number one, you have a question or you have a life. So what did you want answered? This is the first thing to think about when you're getting signs. What did I want answered? Number two, what signs are appearing if you are to look beyond logic? So what is actually appearing? Are you getting any big signs at the moment? Do birds keep appearing? Do you keep, I don't know, doing something in particular? Is there something happening here? Is there a god? Is there a goddess that keeps appearing? Is there multiple signs? Write them all down. Write all of these signs down. What are these signs? Now, how are you going to interpret these signs, right? Are you going to use your intuition? Are you going to sit down and go, okay, well, what do birds mean to me? Birds are scary. They're this, they're that, right? Write it down. Now, the next sign that you've had, maybe it's this thing. You can use oracle cards, right? You could get your cards out and say, tell me about the birds cards. What do the birds mean that I keep getting? You might get a bit of an answer there. So ask about all of the signs. It is then from that final bit that you'll be able to interpret what is coming to you and why it's coming to you.